I've got a DSC power series here. I've got a 1616 panel, and basically I just want to do some of the basic wiring with you and just show you how a basic system is all wired up. So this is a 1616 power series, but the 1832 and the 1864 are the same panel. The 1832, the 1864 just have two more wired zones. This one is a six wired zone. Those two are an eight wired zones on board. So yeah, I'll just kind of take you through here and show you what's going on. I already wired up a couple things here just to make it easy. But what I'll do first is zoom in. AC is on the far left there. What I've done with AC is basically we have our 22 gauge 4-conductor wire. I've taken 2 and 2 and just twisted them together, snipped them, and brought them in there. Just left a little bit hanging out and a little bit of copper. But what I did was Christmas trees and bumblebees. That's the way to think about it, the way I usually think about it for positive and negative when I have to twist them. It's green and red and yellow and black. Christmas trees and bumblebees. So all I've done is take the AC here and it goes down the line to our plug-in transformer that I'll show you afterwards here. And then next thing I'd like to show you is the bell positive and negative. That is going to our siren. So the same thing here, Christmas trees and bumblebees. We did bell positive. Sorry, for AC, polarity doesn't matter either. It doesn't matter, there's no positive, negative. Bell is a DC, so you need a DC positive and DC negative. So if you're gonna use Christmas trees and bumblebees, just remember red in positive, black in the negative. And then on the other end, I'll show you the siren afterwards, and I just wired it up the same way. And moving over, we've got red, black, yellow, green, our 4 conductors. These are going to our keypad, so you can't mess that up. Red, black, yellow, green. It's nice and easy. And then moving on to the other side here, our zones. So the way the zones work is they share a common. What I always do is the green is always the common and our yellow goes into the zone. So zone 1, I'm going to show you, I'll plug in I'll hook up a contact, a door window contact for you in a second here so you can see. But zone 2, I've made that a motion detector. Motion detectors need power from auxiliary over here. So auxiliary positive and negative, that's DC as well, so make sure your red is on positive, black is on negative for your motion, and then common, one, and then the other yellow and green. The green goes into common, and I'm having the motion as zone 2, so zone 2 is going to be our yellow, and that takes care of the motion detector. So the I put resistors across the rest of these zones. With these power series panels, the system is looking for resistance across these zones. So basically what we're telling the system here is these are closed zones. There is options in programming. If you don't want to use resistors, you can shut it off so that it only sees open or closed zones. I always use resistors, and the reason for that is typically these are used for troubleshooting purposes. If you run wires like through an attic or something like that, and they're down, years later there's a short in the line, or a rodent or something, bites into that line and shorts it, you're able to troubleshoot better whether it's the wire that's the issue or whether it's the device that's the issue. If you have more questions about these resistors, you can YouTube resistors, why do we use resistors, and there's a couple of good videos on it to explain everything. But okay, getting back to this, our battery leads are on the far left here. We'll hook up a battery to that later on. The white part just goes in, plugs in there, and then we have black and red that are gonna plug into our battery afterwards here. We're all set here, and I just wanna show you guys the zone 1. I just wanna show you how to put a resistor on here. I've got a recessed door contact here, and it's got 2 inputs for the wires there and your 2 screw down terminals. So this goes into the door frame. It's a 3/8 of an inch. It goes into the door frame, and then your 3/8 magnet goes into the door, and it just opens the zone, closes the zone. So it's a very basic contact. But as you can see, I didn't put the resistor. Zones 3 through 6 have resistors on them, but 1 and 2 they're going to be at the device. And then, like I said earlier, that's just for troubleshooting purposes. Okay, so what we want to do is, with these door contacts, they don't need power, so you can just what I do is just take back the red and black, wrap them around in case any point down the line you need those wires again. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll just take our green and yellow, and these are not polarity doesn't matter for these, so it doesn't matter which where we put them. So I'll put the green in and screw it down, and then I'll take our yellow here and take our 5.6K resistor. What I do is I just put them up next to each other, twist them, snip off the excess here, and take our B connector. It's just similar to like a Moret, but just smaller. B connect those together. You just take your pair of cutters and crimp it down in a couple spots. And then you can take this down pretty low, and then that goes into the other end of our contact. And with these 3/8, we got a magnet stuck there. And with these 3/8 contacts, I mean, when you're trying to put this in the door frame, there's not a lot of room in there, and a lot of people, if there's no room, the control panel still needs to see resistance on this zone. So if you want to, you can put your resistor at the panel. It's not doing anything for your troubleshooting down the line if something was to happen and you wanted to know a little more information about whether it was short in the line or whether it was your device that was acting up. But it's really difficult sometimes to get these in a 3/8 hole in your door frame and kind of bend it around. So you can put it at the panel, or you can just turn resistors off altogether in programming. So yeah, there we go. So there we go. That's a 3/8 door contact with this one in the door, and that's nice and easy. So that is that's our recessed contact. I've also got a surface mounted contact here as well. With the surface mounted, same as the recessed, you're just gonna screw onto these 2 terminals. Come around what I like to do is come around the left side with your wire, bend it around, and then as you crank down, it's gonna tighten the wire around the screw. So if you went the other way, or if you put the wire in the other way, it's just gonna kind of loosen it as you tighten it down. So it's good to go from the left, curl it around, and then leave a little more on your resistor from the other side. Same thing, come from the left, go around, and it tightens down as you go. So I'm not going to do that there, but so I'll just show you how I did the other devices here. So this is our standard DSC. It's an LC100PI. It just screws off on the bottom here. Just screws off on the bottom, lifts up from the bottom. And as you can see, I know it's kind of tough to see, but we have our black and red, green, and yellow with a resistor on it. We've got enough space in here to put this resistor, it's not a problem. But on the right hand side here, I don't know if you can see, but we see it says 12 volts positive and negative. So at the panel, if you remember at the panel, auxiliary we had positive and negative, and then zone 2 and common. So common is going to be our green. Our red and our black are going to be 12 volt positive and negative, and then our yellow is these motions detectors are normally closed, so it just says NC back there. So yellow, green, red, black, it's nice and easy. These motions also have when you get them, they're going to be at the minimum for sensitivity. If you go clockwise, that's the maximum. We typically just put it in the middle for like middle of the line sensitivity. That's all there is. Now it goes from the top. Oh yeah, and with these, they're really handy. They've got these screw hole type of deals where so you can mount it in a corner, and it's gonna, and then just put in your drywall screws or your screws on either end, and it holds it at a 90. Or you can mount it flush on a wall. There's even kind of like a, you know, even if you just only use these two, this panel or this little control panel thing can come out, and you can use the two corners as well if you only wanted to use the two. So they're handy. Okay. So next, we'll show you the keypad here. This is a PK5501 keypad. It just it comes off like that. And the PK5501 is strictly for wired systems, wired zones. There's another one that looks like this called the RFK5501, and that has a built-in wireless receiver in it, so you can enroll wireless devices. This does not have a wireless receiver, so it's only going to go by your hardwired zones. And with these 1616s, you can buy the modules, an expansion module where you add on 8 more hardwired zones. So you can have up to a total of 16 hardwired zones on these 1616s. So with the PK, this is the back here is your mounting. This was a punch out right there, but you can mount these really easily on a wall. Just level it off, and then you can come through a couple different holes here, and then drywall screws in with plugs, or it's nice and easy. And then on the other side of this is just red, black, yellow, green. Can't mess it up. Red, black, yellow, green. There is an option here where there is an onboard zone that you can, in programming, you can set it so that this will pick up. You could put a motion detector or a door contact on it if you really needed this space. Okay, and that's basically it for that. These have a low temperature sensor on them as well. But yeah, just a basic keypad. Okay, put that out of the way. And our siren. So this is where we had connected our siren to bell positive and negative. And remember, we used Christmas trees and bumblebees. So coming out of the back of this, I just went red to our positive, and black to bumblebees. Black to black, red to red. And some of these sirens will have other wires coming off. There could be a yellow one, and the yellow one might be a yelp sound instead of a steady kind of tone. So there's a couple different kind of sirens. And then our transformer, this is a 16.5 VAC 40 VA, and it's just an AC, so it doesn't matter, polarity doesn't matter, but you want to go, we want Christmas trees and bumblebees into the other side, and AC load on the loads on either side, and the same thing as I was talking about with that door contact. I like to go from the left side, and then as you turn the screw, it tightens these down a little better around the screw. And that's pretty much it. We've also got a RJ31 phone jack. That's going to go into your ring tip R1 and T1 here. That's if you wanted to have like a monitor, like a central monitoring station, monitor your home or your business, then you can have your phone line send signals to the monitoring station from your system here. That's when that's used. And last thing here is we've also got our battery backup. So our wire leads, nice and easy. They just go red to red, black to black. That's it. That's all. Plug in your transformer, and everything will power up. So yeah, if you have any questions, just don't hesitate to leave your questions or comments. You can go to securedsurrounding.com. We have lots of training videos and lots of stuff going on over there. So thanks very much.